Él es Benjamin Zander, director de la Orquesta Filarmónica de Boston. Y aquí está dando una magistral clase de música.
Well, in most categories, compared to the dedication, the keenness, the seriousness of purpose, you're a superstar, right? Nothing could be improved on. However, in your capacity to express anger, not so much, right? And what Shostakovich is saying in this piece is, I'm angry, right? I'm angry with Stalin. Stalin, he had just blamed his Pasternak, his dear friend, and threatened his. Shostakovich was so terrified of his life in Soviet Russia that at night he would put on his overcoat and have a suitcase packed, ready for the secret police to come to take him away. He didn't want the children to be woken. Right? Do you imagine how angry he was, how terrified he was? Now, before you came down to play, you were practicing, but you were practicing the cello, because this piece is difficult. You have to find and you were worried you might play a note out of tune. But actually, that wouldn't have mattered. You understand that? I heard this piece for the first time in London, and a cellist who nobody had ever heard of came to play, who turned out to be Rostropovich. And everybody in that room was terrified. I remember it. And what he brought was terror, fear, unbearable pressure, no escape. And he could convey that more completely than anybody had ever heard play the cello. It was like that. And he looked strange. I mean, he didn't look like and now look at Italian cellists. And when he wasn't playing, when the orchestra was playing, he would like this. So if I said to you, practice anger, you wouldn't know what I was talking about, and your parents wouldn't approve. Right? But unless you're willing to give up control and being nice, and you're always, I've known you for 3 years, you're always nice. Question is, can we add something? Are you willing to add something? Yeah. All right? But unless you unleash in the orchestra that ferment of passion, of intensity, of anger, of fury, of that sense of being absolutely driven to the edge, unable to go any further, how can the audience get it unless we give it to them? Right? So it's not only the orchestra, it's the Russian people you have to speak for. Do you understand? Now it's starting to get a little bigger. Right? It's no longer you practicing and making sure that you're playing the right notes. Right? Because actually, we don't care. As long as you get close. Okay? So should we try here? She'll inspire you here. This is the Russian soul. Got there, right? And you can feel it. Everybody's shocked. because it goes higher and higher. It's already high on the G for a cello to play in the air, and it gets higher, and it gets higher, and it gets higher. And instead of withdrawing, it says, no, no, more. And you know, I think, have you heard Rostropovich play this? So why did you play like that? There's a film of Misha Maisky. Look at this. There's a film. Do you know that film? Misha Maisky? Have you seen it? Well, he has hair like this. And he's sitting there and he's in a shirt. Have you seen that? Unbelievable. And it's filmed very well, sometimes from behind. You see his head going like this. You think this man is demented. And he is. Because this music makes us demented. Terror, terror, terror. Maybe you could do 27 to get into it. Can you play this fortissimo? Because what's happening is the horn solo is playing, and the horn is like a wild enemy. It's stalking its prey. The horn is like Stalin, you know, just stalking its prey, like a predatory animal. That's what the horn is doing, and you're reacting. And the cello is trying to struggle out of reach of the horn, trying to get escape, screaming like a hunted animal. Can you get that? Just do that, two bars again. You're approaching it, and everybody in this room is moved by your willingness to get out of your polite box and struggle. You're not there yet, and they know that. But that's what the journey is about. Are you willing to go on the journey? It's going to take a lot of effort, because the pressure from society, from school, from competition, from grading, from ranking, 1%, 5%, all of that is nonsense. If you're a 100 animal, you don't care what percentage it is. Your job as a cellist is to unlock the greatness of this woman. And if you ever play with orchestra, to unlock the greatness that is in the orchestra, so that the audience can hear Shostakovich's story. You got it? Everything else is meaningless.